Ladies and gentlemen, this target is I can find key features of a graph from Vertex form. So the four things that are going to be covered in this screencast are what is the vertex of a parabola? What's the equation look like in vertex form? What is the axis of symmetry? And what is the y-intercept? So this is new content. It's not a refresher. So some of this will look familiar, but you'll see some new things weaved in as well. So just as a reminder, quadratics graph as parabolas, and parabolas always have a high point or a low point. There's a high point if the parabola opens down, so this would be a maximum, and there is a minimum right here for a parabola that opens up like the blue one. Those points are called those high and low points, or minimum and maximums, are called the vertex. And the axis of symmetry is the line that passes right through that vertex. So for the purple line, the axis of symmetry would be x equals 5. And for the blue line, the axis of symmetry would be x equals 3. All right, the top line right here, you'll notice that this is the form of a quadratic equation in standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c. The form that we're going to be talking about today, the vertex form, is the form f of x equals a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. This is the new form that we're going to be looking at. So let's start with the old form, where we see that we have on the side with the red equation, or the red parabola, the quadratic form is right here above my cursor. So when a is positive, in this case we have an implied positive 1 right here in front of the x squared. When a is positive, the curve opens up, or it smiles like this, and the vertex is the minimum value. The vertex at this position is 5, -4. And the axis of symmetry is the axis of symmetry is x is equal to 5. For the purple curve on the right side, the value for a is negative. So a would be a -1. So when a is negative, the curve frowns, or it opens down, and the vertex is a maximum value for the parabola. In this case, the vertex of this parabola is the point +5, +4, and the axis of symmetry for this parabola also happens to be x is equal to +5. All right, so these are the three forms of quadratic functions. We've talked about this standard form before. The vertex form is the new one, and we'll get to this the factored form we've talked about a little bit, but we'll come back to that one as well. So let's look at the standard form and the vertex form. Notice that the a value appears in each one, so this is the same number. So a will remain the same in both the standard and vertex form. So in the vertex form, then the value h that you see here in blue is the x-coordinate of the vertex, and the value k that you see here in green is the y-coordinate of the vertex. So this is a really handy form of this equation, because we can immediately pull out the values for the vertex from this form. It's simply going to be this value right here that is inside the function, and this value out here that is outside the function. We do have to pay particular attention, however, to this minus sign and this plus sign. So the standard form is x minus h, and we add to that k. So if either of these signs change, then that means the values will change. We'll see that in a moment. Okay, so to kind of summarize how we would do this, if we have an equation in this form, then the vertex is going to be h, k. The equation in vertex form is the pattern that we've seen before. The axis of symmetry is going to be equal to the x value in the vertex. So the axis of symmetry is going to be equal to h, and the y-intercept will be the solution of the function when x is equal to 0. So if you drop 0 in for x and solve for the y value, then you'll find the y-intercept. So let's try it on one. So here's a graph. So presented with this graph, we can find all of the information that we need. It's easy on this one to find the vertex. We'll just look across to positive 5 and down to negative 4. So the vertex is 5, negative 4. Then the equation in vertex form, we will drop 5 in for the h value and 4 in for the k value. So the equation in vertex form is going to be y, or f of x, is equal to the quantity x minus 5 squared minus 4. Notice that because this is a minus 4 and the pattern shows plus k, then that gives us a negative 4 for the y-coordinate of the vertex. That's important. The axis of symmetry in this case is just going to be x is equal to 5. That's the same as the h value. And the y-intercept, we will drop 0 in for the x value and solve this equation and find that the x-intercept is 21. The y-intercept is 21. So this curve will cross the y-axis at the point 0, positive 21, way up here off the screen. All right, here's some general notes about the graph of the vertex form y equals a times x minus 8 quantity squared plus k. This is a good summary, however, it does not describe how to find the y-intercept. Recall, to find the y-intercept, you simply drop in the value of 0 for x and solve for y. All right, good luck. Do your best.